Welcome to the first 50 ways to open a beer in the workshop, a comprehensive guide that no one asked for, but everyone needed, and it wouldn't be possible without you. So keep the suggestions coming. For now, grab a drink, hit subscribe, and let's just get that under there, give it a push, and let the weight do the rest. Just clip it onto the cap and press the release button and lift it straight off. Wedge one end beneath the cap. Give the opposite end a sharp tap against the bandsaw and let gravity do the work. Every workshop has beer, sockets, and offcuts of timber you still haven't cleared away. With the help of one of those neglected pieces, your socket doubles as a bottle opener. Put that bit at the back, slide the bottle in there, and pivot. Rest the cap against your knuckle, wedge the base of the lighter underneath, and apply leverage, a rite of passage for beer drinkers everywhere. Once the surface is finally exposed, we can adjust the spanner precisely to the width of the cap. Apply upward pressure and the bottle opens. We need to carefully remove the front flap from the box. Then the rest of the box can go. Now fold the flap in half, then half the other way, and half again. And one last half the other way. And just like that, we've engineered a cardboard bottle opener. For this one, we'll be using the finger press technique. Push the cardboard into the teeth of the cap so you've got a good bite. That was just a test run. Press against your finger and off comes the cap. We'll be focusing on the rim. Just slide it in and pop it off. This one is good. It doubles up as a cup, so you don't have to drink from the dirty bottle. Bottoms up. And a lesser known feature, a built-in bottle opener. The ergonomic design makes this one a breeze. Simply stand the saw flat, clip in your bottle, and voila, you're good to go. Simple, your kids could do it. Hook the claw under the cap, push the handle, and the job's done. Lovely. There are several different ways a caster wheel can be used to open a beer, and perhaps we'll explore the others in future lessons. But today, I'll be demonstrating my favourite technique. I call this one the reverse caster wheel. Hold on tight, slide the edge under the cap, little pressure upwards, slip, and there it is, job done. We'll be working with the sole of the boot. It can take a few attempts to get a decent bite. We'll blame that on the oil-resistant tread. Apply steady pressure, and with a little persistence, off it comes. When in Rome, do as the Germans do. Bottoms up. Just get the head under the cap, give it a push, and off it comes. All you've got to do is line it up and send it home. Then simply insert the sharp end of the screw and gently prise it away from the bottle. Work your way around a few teeth, repeating as needed until the cap finally gives in. Line the center of the bubble up with the cap, give the wrist a twist, and off it comes. Lovely. It's a bit fiddly, but the satisfaction when it goes is more than worth the effort. Hold the cap level with the bench, set the gauge on the edge, press down for a solid bite, slap the end, send it home. Start by folding the sanding belt in half and rolling it into a nice stiff shape. Slip one end under the cap, push from behind, and off it pops. Lovely. So we're in luck, because this cap sure is metal. Hold the bottle steady at a slight angle so you can actually see what you're doing. Engage the safety squints and start grinding those teeth. For legal reasons, I should probably encourage you not to try this yourself, and I accept no responsibility for anything bad that happens if you do. That being said, in hindsight, this would have been a lot easier with the bottle in a vise and 2 hands on the grinder, but there's no going back now, and I'm not one to waste a beer. Apply just enough pressure, too much, and you'll end up with glass in your beer. Here it comes, and there it goes. And here's how it's done. Easy as that. First, gently slide the bottle opener into position, calm, controlled, and graceful. Then place your bottle in the downward dog position and push down. Oops, nearly had it. Here it comes. There it is. Doing something reckless. Today we're using the table end of the table saw. Just give it a tap and off comes the cap. For this one, we'll be using the hammer setting. Just twist the collar until you find the hammer icon. Place the bottle into position with a firm bite on the table, then let hammer mode do what it does best. Off comes the cap. Lovely. With the DS Lite. A very handy feature, because who doesn't enjoy a beer while playing Crash Bandicoot? It's worth mentioning at this point that I am a highly trained professional, and if you do try this at home, which you shouldn't, and end up damaging your console, that's not my fault. Once you've removed the game, simply slot the bottle into the receiver, and off she pops. I call this technique the wrestler. With the framing square and its trusty L shape, you want to get the bottle into a chokehold. Don't go in too hard, give it a little wrestle. One final squeeze, and pop goes the cap. For this technique, we'll be using the safety glasses in flat pack mode. Just locate the side of the frame and slide it under the cap. Apply a little pressure to ease it off, but go steady. The pre-drilled hole in the middle, just the right size to slide your bottle through. Once it's in place, lock it down with your spare hand and with the other, carefully lift it off. Simple as that. And you need to send the screw most of the way home. Pre-drilling isn't required for these bad boys, which means we're already one step closer to opening our beer. Just make sure you stop driving it about 7mm shy of the wood. We're not building a deck here. And there you have it, your workbench now comes with its very own built-in bottle opener. A pen is mightier than a sword, but I know which one I'd rather be hit by. But they're mighty good at popping caps. Rest the cap on the lip of the can, then send it down onto the bench with purpose. The impact lifts the cap free, a fine demonstration of physics and poor impulse control. Next we'll be using the pliers in the way they were intended, clamping them around the cap and gently prising it off. I do have to apologise for the shoddy camera work on this one. I've got a feeling my cameraman's been drinking on the job. I'll be having words. Maybe it's a good thing you can't see the struggle here. Sometimes life doesn't go to plan, but the key lesson to take away is this. No matter what challenges come your way, if you persevere, there's always beer at the end of the tunnel. See about 16 different obvious ways it could be used, so avoiding them all is going to be tricky. In hindsight, this is probably a really obvious one, but we're going to use the handle of the clamp to well clamp the bottle cap and then just peel it back. Here's a look from a different angle with a bit less skin stealing the show. I know my calves distracted you. For this technique, slot the cap just under the rim of the barrow and give the bottle a firm push. The steel edge does all the work quick, clean, and ready for work. To get things started, you'll first want to remove the paper sleeve. Fortunately, the flame makes easy work of that. These blowtorches actually come with a handy little lip, presumably intended for removing bottle caps. Care must be taken at this stage though, because that metal bit pressing against your skin that was just producing fire is probably still very hot. What they don't often advertise though is the built-in bottle opener on the underside. Simply engage the cap into the slot and pivot the jigsaw. Take extra care to avoid the blade with your hand. I'd recommend, for this one, having the jigsaw turned off. At this point I was beginning to think I should have done a dry run first, but that's not really in the spirit of the series. Live by the saw, die by the saw. You probably think you know how this one's done, but you should never let anyone know your next move. So today, we'll be using the spout. Just hook it under the cap, use the neck for a bit of leverage, and away she goes. So the cap's level with the table. For this one, we're actually using the tool the way nature intended. Slide the short end under the cap, pull down on the long end, and prise it free. This one comes well equipped with specially designed lips on the handle to slide the bottle in. Once it's in place, give the pan a firm push to create leverage, and pop goes the bottle. We'll be using the bolster without a lump hammer for this one. Just flip it upside down, hook the lip under the cap, and lift. And switch it to hammer mode, because we're not here to mess around. Use your weak hand as a guide to hold the bit under the cap. Ear plugs in, and off she goes. A moment in life when size doesn't matter. Simply stick the butt end of the brush under the cap, apply force from the rear, and off she pops. It's simple. Keep one upright, turn the other on its side, lock the caps together, and push. For this one, we'll be using the head of the broom. Just wedge it under the cap, give it a lift, and off she pops. Simple, effective, and this one turned out to be more of a challenge than I anticipated, so I've sped up the battle to keep your attention. The idea is to tighten the cable tie under the cap, then pull up to pop it off. Easier said than done though, but don't give up with enough stubbornness, it'll eventually surrender. The technique is all about compaction. The tighter the folds, the greater the potential for force transfer in theory. In practice, it's still just a bin bag, but we're giving it every chance to succeed. Once your bag's as tight as a jar lid, your nan can't open. You just need to wedge it under the cap and leverage off your finger. We're keeping things simple. Just wedge the head of the mallet under the cap, lift up slightly, and give the handle a quick tap on the bench. This technique, precision is key, so if your beer's got a sleeve covering the cap, now's a good time to remove it. I don't know about you, but I usually struggle more with the sleeve than the cap itself. But now that's done, we can move on to the next step. I don't like to waste beer, so I'm using a block of wood to prop the bottle at a slight angle to help reduce spillage. Once the mitre saws up to full speed, carefully lower the blade onto the cap. The idea here is to gently rotate the bottle as you cut, until the cap finally gives in. I should remind you, I am a trained professional, don't try this one yourself. There's a very real risk of losing a finger, or worse, breaking your beer. Success. Appreciate everyone who's made it this far, you lot are the best. If you're new, hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.